China has criticized the United States, India and other countries for banning DeepSeek, a Chinese AI chatbot, claiming that these actions amount to the politicization of trade. However, these countries have raised concerns over DeepSeek's data privacy and security practices, citing potential risks of data leakage to the Chinese government. And to understand this better, I'm currently joined by Mishi Choudhary. Mishi Choudhary, what specific data privacy and security concerns led to these countries like the United States and India in order to ban DeepSeek? And the big question is, what are the dangers of DeepSeek that so many countries have decided to ban it?
So, as you said, that this week, South Korea and Australia also joined the ranks of various countries, including the United States agency like NASA and Navy, who have prohibited any usage of DeepSeek on mobile devices of government officials. What has happened is that most of these governments fear that the data collected by Chinese platforms such as DeepSeek will be used for espionage, influence operations, or surveillance. Whether that's happening in practice or not is debatable, but just the mere possibility is enough for them to raise security concerns, because there are certain laws, like the National Intelligence Law in China, that theoretically allow the Chinese state to access corporate data. Now, that is why these Chinese platforms are being treated differently. That does not mean that Western companies, whether it is Meta, which has Llama, or Google with Gemini, or OpenAI, they don't collect data. Everybody exploits data to some extent. They use it to target us, as you know, for targeted advertising, for algorithmic refinement, the algorithm which feeds you the videos you watch or whatever is on your screens, and AI training also. In fact, they themselves also have been investigated for privacy breaches, but they continue to operate because at least it's assumed that they can be controlled through regulation. So like when ChatGPT was released in 2023, Italian Data Protection Authority banned it for some time and investigation started. But after that, it was allowed because they engaged, they gave the right answers. Once there was satisfaction about the responses received, then they continued to operate in these jurisdictions. That same thing does not happen with China. But one interesting thing to note also is that China blocks access to all Western tech companies, including Facebook, and even ChatGPT for all users in its own country. So it's clearly hypocrisy on all sides, as one would say, whether when the blustering statements come from the Chinese.
Well, absolutely. And Mishi Choudhary, the big question that remains is how can countries balance the benefits of AI technology with concerns over data security and national sovereignty? Well, thank you very much for speaking with NDTV and sharing your views on this.